Found out my wife was cheating on me and my daughter helped her hide it. So I used her college fund for myself, filed for divorce, and kicked them out. Now they're begging me to reconcile. All right, Reddit. Never have I ever thought that I would be writing on here. But it all started when I found my wife's Reddit account where she documented her year-long affair with a competitor's sales rep, complete with photos of my daughter going on dates with them like some twisted happy family. Kicked them both out, liquidated the $198,000 college fund, and watched their supportive boyfriend ghost them the second his own career imploded. Grab a chair and enjoy the chaos. I, 44, male, married 12 years to Tiffany, 42, female. We have one daughter, Mia, who is 17. The kind of setup that looks perfect on paper. Stable job as operations director, nice house in the suburbs, kid pulling straight A's. The dream package. On Tuesday evening, I discovered everything. Tiffany was supposedly at a pharma conference across state. Mia was at her friend Hazel's house. I was home alone when my laptop decided to brick itself mid-presentation. Just black screen, wouldn't restart, completely dead, great. I had to present this logistics optimization proposal at 8 a.m. Wednesday. Couldn't wait until morning to fix my laptop. Tiffany's laptop was sitting on the kitchen counter. She'd left it behind because she always traveled with her work-issued tablet for conferences. Her personal laptop just stayed home collecting dust. I grabbed it, opened it up, logged in with the password we'd always shared, our wedding anniversary. Original, I know. Pulled up Chrome to access my Google Drive where the presentation was saved. That's when I saw it. Reddit was already open, still logged in. Multiple tabs across the top. I wasn't trying to snoop. Literally just needed to close the browser and open a fresh window to access my work files. But one of the tab titles caught my eye as I was about to close everything. Update. Told my daughter about my affair partner. She's so supportive. My hand froze on the trackpad. Click the tab. Some user with a throwaway account, Living Authentic 247, had posted this long update about how she'd finally told her teenage daughter about the affair she'd been having, talking about how supportive her daughter was being, how mature she was handling everything, how they'd even gone on a casual dinner together with the affair partner and it went great. The post was from 3 days ago. It was Tiffany's account. The pharmaceutical conference references, the 17-year-old daughter, the way she wrote that specific self-justifying tone she used when explaining away anything selfish. Every detail screamed my wife. Shock hit like ice water. Just sitting there staring at her words describing an affair. My affair. Our marriage was reduced to Reddit fodder. I checked the post history with shaking hands. 3 months of posts. All in relationship and affair subreddits, all talking about her affair partner and how amazing the connection was, how she'd been seeing him for almost a year now, how they'd met at conferences and realized they understood each other in ways their spouses never could. Then I found the posts where she talked about me, called me stable but boring, said I was emotionally unavailable, described me as a placeholder husband, someone who provided security but no passion. One post literally said, "My husband is so clueless he'd never suspect anything," which honestly just proves how checked out he is. Reading your wife call you clueless in a public forum hits different. Then came the posts about Mia, how she'd opened up to her daughter about the affair. How Mia had been so understanding and mature, how her daughter saw that women deserve happiness and shouldn't settle. How they'd bonded over it. How Mia had even agreed to meet the affair partner. My 17-year-old kid wasn't just covering for her mom's affair, she was actively participating, cheerleading it, playing supportive daughter to my wife's midlife crisis. But reading about it wasn't the same as seeing it. I opened Tiffany's photos folder. She always synced her phone photos to her laptop. Complained about storage space constantly, but never bothered organizing them properly. Started scrolling. Most recent pictures first. Restaurant shots, nice places, Tiffany smiling at the camera in dresses. I'd never seen desserts. The kind of photos you take when you're trying to document something special. Then I saw the group shots. Tiffany sitting at a table, some guy's arm around her shoulder, both laughing at something off camera. And on the other side of the table, Mia, my daughter, clear as day, not in the background, not accidentally caught. Sitting right there at the table with them, phone in her hand, smiling like this was perfectly normal. More photos, different restaurants, different dates, same arrangement. Tiffany, some guy I didn't recognize, and Mia playing happy family going on dates together. Another showed them at a rooftop restaurant. Sunset in the background. Mia taking a selfie with Tiffany and the guy both leaning into frame. Caption on Tiffany's version, "Best night with my favorite people." That broke my heart more than anything. My wife is a cheating liar. I can move on from that. But my own flesh is helping her after everything I've done. I kept scrolling through the photos, found selfies Mia had taken. Her and Tiffany at shopping malls with bags from expensive stores I'd never seen receipts for. Concert tickets, movie stubs, all dated during times when Mia claimed she was at Hazel's house studying or working her shift at the boutique. The timeline started coming together. Tiffany's late conference nights matched up with charges at restaurants across town. Mia's study sessions lined up with timestamps on photos at restaurants and venues. They'd built an entire parallel life while I sat home alone ordering takeout and catching up on work emails. Found screenshots Tiffany had saved. Text conversations between her and Mia planning their next girls' night. Code for meeting Biff. Messages where Mia suggested restaurants, where she joked about me being clueless, where she called me Dad, the doormat, and said I deserved what I got for being boring. My own kid, 17 years of coaching her soccer games, helping with homework, teaching her to drive, reduced to jokes and text messages with her cheating mother. I dug deeper into the Reddit posts, found one from 2 months ago where Tiffany described a close call. How I'd almost walked in on a video call with Biff. How Mia had distracted me by asking about college applications while Tiffany quickly ended the call. How they'd laughed about it afterward. Another post detailed how Mia helped pick out lingerie for Tiffany's anniversary trip with Biff, my wedding anniversary. The one where Tiffany claimed she had an emergency work trip. Mia went shopping with her, helped her choose outfits, knew exactly where she was going and who she'd be with. The comments on Tiffany's posts made it worse. Other cheaters praising her for being authentic, telling her she deserved happiness, saying her daughter was mature for supporting her mother's journey. Not one person suggesting maybe blowing up your family and recruiting your kid as an accomplice was messed up. How many conferences had actually been romantic getaways? How many times had Mia stayed late at her friend's house been code for meeting up with her mom and that guy? How many times had they sat at dinner together laughing while I was home alone thinking, how can I better their lives? I checked the bank statements more carefully. Found a pattern. Charges at high-end restaurants every Thursday for the past 6 months. Always the same area code on Tiffany's call logs. Always during times when Mia conveniently had evening plans that kept her out late. Pulled up our credit card statements. Found purchases at Victoria's Secret designer boutiques, jewelry stores, all on days Tiffany claimed she was working late, or Mia was supposedly studying. They'd been using our money to fund the affair. My bonuses from work paying for date nights with Biff. By the time the sun came up Wednesday morning, I wasn't sad. I was past that. I was in that cold, crystallized zone where you stop feeling and start planning. Wednesday morning, Tiffany left for work at 7 o'clock, kissed me goodbye, said something about another late night for a client dinner. I nodded, smiled, told her to have a good day. Mia came downstairs around 7:30, grabbed a granola bar, barely looked at me. I'm staying at Hazel's tonight, got a project due. She didn't even glance up from her phone. Just walked out the door like she hadn't been playing happy family with my wife and her boyfriend for the past year. The second both of them were gone, I got to work. I started documenting everything. Screenshots of every Reddit post, every photo, every text message I could access. Downloaded everything to a thumb drive, made 3 copies, stashed them in different locations. Then I pulled up our phone records, family plan, everything visible, found a Denver area code she'd been calling constantly. Late night calls lasting hours. Calls during her business trips when she was supposedly too busy to talk to me. Ran the number through one of those reverse lookup sites. Cost me $20. Biff Richardson, sales rep at MedTech Solutions, competitor company in the same pharma space. That's when the full picture locked into place. My wife had been having an affair with a competitor's sales rep for a year. Not just cheating, potentially sharing industry intel with someone whose job was to undercut her own company. The kind of thing that gets people blacklisted from entire industries. I pulled up Biff's LinkedIn profile, checked his work history. He jumped from company to company every 2 years. Red flag for someone unreliable. His profile bragged about relationship building and strategic partnerships. Bet he built a lot of relationships at conferences. Cross-referenced his conference schedule with Tiffany's. They'd been at 7 of the same events in the past year. Every single one matched up with a spike in phone calls, hotel charges, and restaurant receipts on our accounts. Started with our joint bank accounts, logged in, pulled 9 months of statements, started highlighting charges, every hotel that didn't match her official conference schedule, every restaurant charge for 2 people on nights. She claimed to be working alone, every boutique purchase that screamed dressing up for someone else. I cross-referenced everything against her work calendar that we shared, the one where she marked her conferences and business trips. Started noticing how the actual conference dates never quite lined up with her travel dates. How she'd leave a day early or stay a day late. How the hotels she stayed at weren't the conference hotels. Found receipts for a weekend getaway to Aspen in January. Tiffany had told me it was a last-minute strategy meeting. Checked the hotel name, luxury ski resort, not business hotel. Googled it. Coop's retreat spot, romantic packages advertised on the website. My money funding romantic ski weekends while I stayed home shoveling the driveway. Then I called a divorce attorney, top-rated family law specialist, left a message. Got a call back 20 minutes later, scheduled a consultation for Thursday morning. Spent the rest of Wednesday gathering ammunition. Printed out bank statements, credit card records, screenshots, phone logs. Built a timeline spreadsheet showing every lie, every fake conference, every dollar spent on the affair. By Wednesday night, I had a file folder 3 in thick. Evidence of systematic deception, financial infidelity, and parental alienation. Everything documented, dated, cross-referenced. Then I sat at the kitchen table drinking coffee and planning the next moves. Thursday morning, I met with the attorney. Spent 2 hours going through everything. He confirmed what I already knew. I had an airtight case. The affair was documented. The financial deception was clear. Mia was nearly 18, so custody wasn't even a factor. "You're in a strong position," he said. "File for divorce, protect your assets, move forward. She has no leverage here." Thursday afternoon, I prepared. I waited until Thursday evening. Tiffany had said she'd be home for dinner. No conferences, no late meetings, just a quiet night at home. Mia was supposed to be working her shift at the boutique until 7 o'clock. I texted Mia at 6 o'clock. "Can you come home after work? Need to talk to you and your mom about something." She responded immediately. "What about?" "Just come home." Tiffany got home at 6:30 looking confused. "What's this about?" "Thought we could have a family dinner. Haven't done that in a while." Mia walked in at 7:15. Saw me sitting there, saw the food, immediately got this suspicious look on her face. "What's going on?" "Sit down." I pulled out my phone, opened Reddit, navigated to Tiffany's throwaway account, set the phone down in the middle of the table facing them. "So I found your Reddit account. Didn't know you were such a storyteller. Tiffany's face went white, like actual ghost white. The fork stopped halfway to her mouth. Mia looked at the phone, looked at me, went completely still. Been interesting reading, I said. Really got into your post history, the affair stories, the conference meetups, the whole teaching my daughter that women deserve happiness philosophy. Quality content. Tiffany set her fork down, hands shaking slightly. Anthony's. I also enjoyed the photos. Really captured the romance. Though I gotta say, posting pictures with your daughter visible in the background? Bold choice. Progressive. Mia's face flushed red, not embarrassed. Red, angry red. How long have you been spying on Mom? She snapped. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Spying. Your mom posted this on a public forum. I just happened to find it when I needed to use her laptop. And lucky for me, she documented everything like she wanted to get caught. Tiffany found her voice. You had no right to go through my things. Your public Reddit account posted on the internet for anyone to read. You know what I mean, my private life. There's nothing private about posting your affair on Reddit with details and with our daughter helping you cover it. Mia stood up. Chair scraped loud against the floor. I'm not listening to this. Sit down. Something in my voice made her stop. I didn't yell. Didn't raise my voice. Just said it flat and cold. She sat. You've been going on dates with them, I said, looking at Mia. Sitting at restaurants while your mom plays happy couple with her boyfriend, covering for her, lying to me for a year. She deserves to be happy, Mia shot back. You don't even see her anymore. You're just there. You don't care about her, and this is your business. How? She's my mom, and if I was married to someone like you, I would do the same. Wow, okay. Tiffany jumped in, voice getting defensive now that the initial shock wore off. Anthony, you don't understand. Biff and I have a real connection. Something I haven't felt in years. Even your daughter thinks you're dull. It's not my fault. Save it for your Reddit posts. Tiffany's expression hardened. Fine. You want honesty? I'm in love with Biff. Have been for months. He is everything you can never be. And I am not ashamed that I am in love. He's a competitor sales rep in your industry. You're a walking liability. He's a good man who treats me like I matter. He's seeing a married woman he met at a conference. Real prince. Mia slammed her hand on the table. Don't talk about him like that. You don't know him. Mom deserves happiness. Biff makes her happy. You don't, so stop being insecure. I never thought I would raise such an entitled child, like mother, like daughter. Her face went red again. I'm being supportive, which is more than you ever are. Tiffany stood up, voice getting sharp now. I'm not doing this. I don't owe you explanations. I made my choice. I'm with Biff now. We're building something real. Get out. What? Get out. Both of you. Pack your things and leave tonight. Mia laughed. Actually laughed. You're kicking us out? Where are we supposed to go? Not my problem. Maybe Biff's place since he's so wonderful and treats your mom like she matters. Tiffany's face went cold. Fine. We'll go to Biff's. He actually cares about me. He'll take care of us. Yeah, I'm sure he's dying to have his married girlfriend and her teenage daughter move in. Very romantic. He loves me, Tiffany said. He'll understand. We don't need you. We'll be fine without a controlling, boring placeholder taking up space. Mia nodded. Biff has money. He has an actual life. We'll be better off. You're just a loser who can't keep his wife happy. I smiled. Actually smiled. Okay, go, both of you, right now. Tiffany grabbed her purse. We're leaving. Biff will be thrilled we're finally making the move. He's been wanting me to leave you for months. Sure he has. You'll regret this, Mia said. When we're happy with Biff and you're alone in this house, you'll regret being such a bitter jerk. I'll take my chances. They both walked out. Mia grabbed her phone, screaming, You will die alone! Tiffany grabbed her keys. The door slammed behind them. I stood in the empty house for about 10 seconds trying to digest what happened. It hurt. I'm not going to lie, but I didn't need to be hurt now. I needed to plan. Friday morning, I woke up at 6 o'clock, showered, got dressed, made a list. First call was to my best friend, Tom. He answered on the second ring. Anthony, what's going on? Tiffany's been cheating for a year with a competitor sales rep. Mia's been helping her. I found everything on Reddit Wednesday night. Confronted them Thursday, kicked them out. They went to stay with the affair partner. I'm filing for divorce. Need a good attorney recommendation. Silence, then. Those awful women. Yeah, give me an hour, I'll find someone. The second call was to my bank. Opened right at 8. I was there at 8:15. Sat down with the same banker I'd worked with for years. I need to move funds. His expression stayed professional. What kind of funds? Everything from the joint savings that I contributed from my bonuses. Also need to liquidate my 529 account. The college fund, but your daughter's about to start. Plans changed. She pulled up my accounts. The 529 had 198,000 in it. 17 years of contributions at $200 per paycheck plus compound growth. All legally mine since I was the account owner. Mia was just the beneficiary designation. Took 40 minutes. Paperwork signed. Money transferred to my personal account. After taxes and penalties, about 170,000 remained. 17 years of college savings redirected. Mia could figure out community college on her own. I also moved 37,000 from our joint savings, the exact amount I deposited from my last 3 bonuses. Perfectly legal. My money going back into my account. Changed my direct deposit to a new account Tiffany couldn't access. Set up autopay for my truck from the new account. Canceled joint credit cards where I was primary holder. Every move strategic, every action documented. Called the insurance company. Removed Tiffany from my health insurance effective immediately. Removed her from my life insurance beneficiary. Changed the emergency contact on file from her to Tom. After that, I called work. Told my boss I was going independent as a consultant. Gave 2 weeks' notice. He tried talking me out of it, but I'd already made up my mind. Independent consulting meant better money, flexible schedule, and no corporate politics. Spent Friday afternoon apartment hunting. Found a 2-bedroom place across town. Signed the lease same day. Move-in ready, no baggage, fresh start. By Friday evening, I had a liquidated college fund, my own money secured, a resignation letter submitted, and a new apartment leased. All completely legal, all completely documented. Tom called back around 6. Found you an attorney. Top family law specialist. Expensive but effective. He can see you Monday morning. Perfect. How you doing? Better than them. Saturday morning, my phone started blowing up. Tiffany calling, texting, leaving voicemails. Ignored all of it. I spent Saturday packing. Took everything that was mine. Left everything that was hers. Kept the tools from the garage. All purchased with my money. Kept the decent furniture I'd bought. Left her with the cheap stuff her mother had given us. Disconnected the cable, internet, utilities, all in my name. Scheduled shut-off for Monday. She could figure out her own accounts. Around noon, she called from Mia's phone. Probably thought I'd answer for my daughter. Nope. Finally, she texted from a random number. Biff won't let us stay. Says it's too complicated. We need to come back home. I replied once. No. Another text came through. Please, we have nowhere to go. I made a mistake. Not my problem. What about Mia? She's your daughter. Was my daughter. She made her choice. Now she lives with it. The texts kept coming. I blocked every number she tried. Spent Saturday night in my new empty apartment on an air mattress. Best sleep I'd had in months. Sunday, I went back to the house with Tom. Loaded up his truck with the rest of my stuff. TV, stereo, gym equipment. Took the good cookware. Left her with the scratched pans and mismatched plates. Found Mia's college acceptance letters in her room. MIT summer program. State School Honors College. Full ride scholarship offers. All dated before she decided to help destroy our family. Left them on her pillow. Let her see what she'd thrown away. Monday morning, my phone rang around 10 a.m. Tiffany's number. I almost didn't answer but figured I'd get it over with. Anthony, we need to talk. No, we don't. Yes, we do. I just found out you liquidated Mia's college fund. How could you be so selfish? That money was for your daughter's education. My money, my account, all legal. She's your daughter. How can you punish her like this? She punished herself. Made her choices for a year. Now she lives with them. She's 17 years old. Old enough to help cover an affair. Old enough to lie to my face. Old enough to call me a loser and say she didn't need me. Old enough to deal with consequences. Tiffany's voice cracked slightly. Anthony, please. Biff. Biff said we can't stay with him. He said things move too fast. He needs space to think. The desperation in her voice ramped up fast after that. She didn't have money for a hotel. I'd taken everything from the joint account, she said, voice shaking. Never mind that it was my bonus money, legally mine, fully documented. She couldn't afford rent anywhere. The mortgage payment on the house was coming due and she had no way to pay it. Mia needed tuition money for community college and they had nothing. I gave her one word: consequences. She started begging then, actually begging, asking for just a few weeks to figure things out, saying she'd made a mistake with Biff, that the whole affair had been a mistake, that Mia still needed her father regardless of what happened between us. I reminded her that Mia had a father, past tense. She'd thrown him away, called him a loser, said she didn't need him because Biff would take care of everything. I asked how that was working out for them. The crying started. Real sobbing, not manipulative tears, actual breaking down panic. I destroyed everything, she said. I corrected her. You destroyed everything the moment you decided to cheat, document it online for strangers and turn our daughter into your accomplice. I was just refusing to clean up the mess. She pivoted back to Mia. What about Mia? You're really going to let your daughter be homeless? I told her Mia was exactly where she'd put herself. Maybe she'd learn something from it. Tiffany called me cruel. I reminded her she was the one who wanted Biff, the one who said I was a boring placeholder she didn't need. Now she had exactly what she'd asked for. The desperation reached a peak. She didn't know what to do, she said, didn't know where to turn. Biff had said he loved her, had promised they'd build something real together. I told her he'd lied, pointed out that a guy willing to see a married woman he met at conferences turned out to be unreliable. Shocking development, really. Who could have possibly seen that coming? She made one more attempt, said my name like it was a lifeline. I hung up, blocked her number, sat there for a minute listening to the silence of my apartment. Not my problem anymore. The next few weeks I focused on building my consulting business and working with my attorney. Divorce papers filed Monday morning. Simple, straightforward, irreconcilable differences, no alimony since Tiffany worked. Assets split per state law. Custody wasn't an issue since Mia was 17 and nearly 18. Tom kept me updated on the gossip network. Small industry, word travels. People are talking, he said 2 weeks after I filed. Someone saw Tiffany and Biff together at a conference before everything blew up. Now everyone knows the affair, the competitor connection. Her Reddit posts somehow got leaked to her company's HR department. That's unfortunate. Gets better. Biff's company found out too. Having an affair with a competitor's rep raises red flags, information security concerns, professional judgment questions. They were investigating whether any proprietary information was shared during the relationship. What Tom didn't know was that I'd helped that investigation along. Made a few anonymous calls to MedTech Solutions Compliance Department. Mentioned dates Tiffany and Biff had met at conferences. Suggested they check whether any of Biff's competitor intelligence reports coincidentally aligned with those dates. Planted seeds about information security. I also sent anonymous emails to both HR departments, included screenshots of Tiffany's Reddit posts, the ones where she bragged about conference meetups, where she mentioned specific dates and locations, where she documented their relationship timeline with enough detail that any compliance officer worth their paycheck would start asking questions. Nothing illegal, just a concerned citizen providing potentially relevant information. Found Biff's boss on LinkedIn, sent an anonymous message asking if MedTech knew their sales rep was seeing a competitor's employee. Attached screenshots showing Tiffany worked for a direct competitor. Mentioned potential industrial espionage concerns. Corporate compliance departments love investigating potential liability. Once I planted the seeds, they ran with it. Started pulling travel records, expense reports, email logs. Both companies scrambled to determine if confidential information had been compromised. 3 weeks after the divorce filing, Tiffany's reputation in the industry was destroyed. Meetings got awkward. Clients started requesting different reps. Management was evaluating her position. Biff's quarterly numbers dropped. Clients didn't trust him anymore. Word spread fast in the pharma sales world. This guy was seeing competitors for intel. Didn't matter if it was true. Perception became reality. 4 weeks in, Tiffany got let go. Officially, performance issues. Reality, everyone knowing she'd been seeing a competitor's rep while documenting it online. Biff lasted another week. His company restructured his territory, demoted him, cut his accounts, basically ended his career without officially firing him. His expense reports got flagged. Turns out he'd been charging personal trips as business travel. Hotels that didn't match conference locations, meals with no legitimate business purpose. The investigation I'd triggered uncovered all sorts of financial violations. They didn't fire him outright, that would have been too clean. They gutted his territory, eliminated his bonus structure, reassigned his biggest accounts. Made it so miserable he'd quit on his own. Then came the really satisfying part. Biff completely ghosted Tiffany. Stopped answering calls, blocked her number, went full no contact. Tom heard through the grapevine that Biff's wife found out. She'd gotten suspicious about late nights and unexplained charges. Found evidence of multiple affairs, not just Tiffany. Filed for divorce and took him for everything. House, kids, savings, retirement accounts. Biff ended up in a studio apartment paying alimony and child support to his ex-wife while working retail to make ends meet. His career in pharma sales destroyed, his reputation torched, everything gone. Tiffany had burned down her marriage, her career, and her relationship with her daughter's father for a guy who ditched her the second things got complicated and his own career was threatened. Perfect. Tiffany tried reaching out again around week 5. Different number, same desperation. Said she'd made a mistake. Said Biff wasn't who she thought. Said she wanted to work things out. Replied once. Signed the divorce papers yet? She had. My attorney confirmed receipt. Everything moving forward smoothly. 6 weeks after everything exploded, I met someone at a networking event. Barbara, 38, worked for a non-profit doing international humanitarian work. Her ex-husband had left her for someone younger 3 years earlier. She had a daughter, Willow, 16. We started casual. Coffee, lunch, dinner once a week. Easy conversation without drama. Willow was the complete opposite of Mia. Polite, genuinely interested in other people, mature without the entitled edge. First time I met her, she asked me about my work, listened to my answers, told me about her school robotics team, like an actual conversation with a normal teenager. She helped Barbara with dinner without being asked, said please and thank you, made eye contact when talking to adults. Basic courtesy that apparently wasn't universal. The contrast with Tiffany and Mia was almost funny. Barbara didn't manipulate, didn't lie, didn't post her relationship journey on Reddit for validation, just existed as a real adult with boundaries and emotional maturity. Willow was just a normal kid dealing with normal teenage stuff and treating adults with respect. She would always say, "My mom's so lucky to have you. Actually, I am too." Barbara knew about the divorce. I'd told her everything early on, figured if she was going to bail, better to know up front. "That's rough," she'd said. "Your daughter helping her mom cheat. That's betrayal on 2 levels. Yeah, she learned consequences the hard way. No judgment, no lecture about forgiveness, just acknowledgement that actions have results. 4 months in, Barbara and I moved in together. Willow transitioned smoothly, set up a room, hung posters, never complained. Meanwhile, radio silence from Tiffany and Mia. Tom would update me occasionally. Tiffany working retail now. Couldn't find anything in pharma. Blacklisted, basically. Mia at community college working full-time at Target to pay tuition. Living together in a small apartment because Tiffany couldn't keep up the house mortgage after I moved out. The house went into foreclosure 3 months after I left. Tiffany couldn't make payments on her retail salary. Bank took it back. Another consequence she hadn't planned for when she was posting affair updates on Reddit. Heard through Tom that Tiffany tried reaching out to old industry contacts for gym help. Nobody returned her calls. Word had spread too far. The affair, the Reddit posts, the professional misconduct allegations, all of it followed her. Biff apparently moved to a different state, trying to rebuild somewhere his reputation hadn't reached yet. Last Tom heard, he was working car sales in Oklahoma, from 6-figure pharma sales to used vehicles. Beautiful trajectory, zero sympathy. 7 months after everything went down, someone knocked on my apartment door at 9 p.m. on a Friday. Opened it. Mia standing there looking rough, thinner, tired, older somehow. Dad, no, please, I just need... No. I'm sorry, I know I messed up, I was stupid. You made a choice for a year. Tears started. I'm sorry, I've been trying to fix things. Nothing to fix, we're done. I'm your daughter. You were my daughter. You chose to throw that away when you chose to help your mom destroy our family. Mom's struggling, we're both struggling, the house is gone, she can't find work, I'm working 40 hours a week and going to community college. Consequences. Dad, please, I need help with tuition just for this semester. No. That's not fair! Life's not fair, you're learning that now. How can you be so cruel? Easy. You helped your mom cheat on me for a year, lied to my face, called me a loser, said you didn't need me. Now you're finding out what not needing me actually looks like. Barbara appeared in the doorway behind me. Everything okay? Mia looked at her, then at me. Expression shifted from desperate to angry. You replaced us. I moved on with her. You're pathetic replacing your family with some random woman. Your mom was cheating on me for a year while you helped. I'm not the one who destroyed the family. I said I'm sorry, and I said we're done. Go home. I don't have anywhere else to go. Then figure it out. You're an adult now. Adults solve their own problems. Barbara put her hand on my shoulder. Calm, steady. Anthony, maybe we should... No. I looked at Mia. You came here for money, I'm not giving you any. You made choices, live with them. I'm your blood. Blood doesn't mean anything when you betray the person who raised you. Go home, Mia. She stood there for another few seconds, then turned and left. Barbara looked at me. You okay? Never been better. We went back to watching TV like nothing happened. After a while, I started thinking about making a huge decision. I will update you guys on it very soon. Update. Should I give my stepdaughter the college fund I took from my bio daughter? 1.5 years since I kicked out my cheating wife and accomplice daughter. Been with Barbara for about a year now. Her daughter Willow just got accepted to MIT's summer robotics program. Kid's 18, smart as heck, actually respects people. Complete opposite of Mia. Here's the situation. I liquidated Mia's college fund after discovering the affair. $198,000 originally. Now about $170,000 after taxes and penalties. Been sitting in my investment account doing nothing. Willow's talking about college applications. Good schools, real programs, actual future ahead of her. Barbara mentioned tuition costs the other night. Didn't ask for anything, just stated facts. Her ex left her with nothing 3 years ago. She's been saving what she can, but it's not much. I've been thinking about giving Willow the money, setting up a new 529 in her name. Same structure I used for Mia. Different kid, potentially better outcome. Meanwhile, Mia's at community college working full-time at Target to pay tuition. Tried getting student loans but got denied because Tiffany's credit is trashed from the foreclosure. Not poor enough for aid, not rich enough to afford school. She applied for help from my old friends. Nobody responded. Here's what's messing with my head. Willow actually shows up, does her homework, treats people with respect, talks to me about robotics like I'm worth listening to, helps with dinner, says thank you. Basic human decency that apparently wasn't possible for my bio daughter, but Mia's still my blood. 17 years of raising her before she helped destroy everything. Tom says most people would feel guilty about cutting off their own kid for a stepdaughter. Part of me thinks consequences matter more than blood. Mia chose to help her mom cheat, called me a loser, said they didn't need me. Willow's building a family instead of destroying one. Other part wonders if I'm being too harsh, if this crosses a line. So I'm asking, would I be wrong to give Willow the fund?